Better now? All good.
Actually, team, it is my bad luck. My father passed away last Saturday because it is mandatory to join class. That's why I joined. But now I am not comfortable to do join. Forcefully, if I not join, I will get a knowledge. That's why I am joining.
So sorry, Karthik.
All will go well, Karthik. Don't worry.
So, Karthik, you would have received a code on your Gmail. Can you give me that?
Which code occurs?
I have sent an OTP for verification. I am using your account, right? So,
Okay,
I have
okay.
received a code.
Okay, just let me check.
Okay.
No, still not came. Just try once more. Is there a that email name just showing?
It's your Gmail account.
Your Gmail account. Not came. This is Karthik Service3@gmail.com,
I
right?
think the account which you used to create this new Azure portal account, that one.
Yeah. The email ID I given Karthik Service.
Can you send me that email address?
Okay, just a minute.
Okay, I think now you will receive a code. Can you just let me know that code?
And now it is came. Just type in. I pinged you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So guys, today what we are going to discuss is a few of the past services. Okay. So last class we were discussing about SQL database. Okay. Today we will be discussing more about one service called app service. Okay. We are going to discuss about app service. So this is basically a platform as a service. Okay. So you can use the service in order to run websites. Okay. So app service is the service name. Okay. Using that, if you have a script, if you have a code, you will be able to run a website. Okay. So this is also a platform as a service. Okay. So you will be using this in order to connect to a website, in order to create your own website, but without the VM running. Okay. So earlier what we used to do is we used to have a VM. Okay. So we used to have a VM. We used to install IIS, okay, Internet Information Service on top of that. Okay, using that we will be creating the website. Okay, so that is what earlier we did. Okay, but now using app service, which is a platform as a service, the VM underneath which your the VM for which is being used, you will not be able to see. Okay, only the code. Okay, you'll be deploying a code, and using that code you will run your website. Okay, so basically you are getting a platform to run your script. Okay, your VM is not your responsibility anymore, only the code is your responsibility. Okay, so basically I will show you how to create one of these. Okay, so web app. So first you need to select your resource group. You need to give the web app name. Okay, so probably uh, my website 1231 dot azure websites.net. So it is again unique. It needs to be unique. If it is not unique, because it is going to be accessible by everyone, it needs to be unique. Okay, so you can create a static web app container, you can create a Docker container using Windows or Linux, or if you have your own code, you can use that code. Okay, so here you need to mention the programming language using which you are doing, either it is .NET or .NET Core, ASP.NET, or Java, Python, PHP, Ruby, whatever is your coding language. Using that, you are going to um publish this particular container. Okay, or you can also create a static website using this particular thing. Okay, so what I will do is I will go ahead and create a static web app. Okay, so the process is going to be quite similar to what we will do while creating a normal web app, just the code will be different. Okay, so static web app name, my web app one. Okay, so you can use this particular name, and the options here, whatever you're getting, you can use that, and you can deploy your code, okay, using Azure functions. Okay, so you can also integrate GitHub with this particular account. Okay, and tags and review and create. So this is with respect to static web app. Okay, and when you are creating your own web app using your own code, you can use this particular option. So there are two types. One is the normal web app. The other one is going to be the static web app. Okay, so I'll just give this. Okay, and let's say I have a Python code, okay, which is going to run on Linux, and the region where you want this to be deployed. Okay, let's say I want this to be in central India. Central India. There's no region central India. Okay, Asia. Southeast Asia. Okay, and what is the plan? Okay, what is the CPU, what is the RAM you want, and all of those. So depending on what you need, if it is a development environment, production, or if it is an isolated environment, depending on what you want, okay, you can deploy your resource accordingly. Dev test, production, and isolated. So what I am going to use is this particular thing, which is going to be free of cost. So 1 GB is the memory which I'm going to have. Okay, and in other options you will be getting zone redundancy. Okay, so whatever deployment you have, it will be having copies in different availability zones. Okay, but since this is the free tier one, you will not get it. Let's say I choose production. Okay, I choose this one, then I'll have the zone redundancy option not grayed out. Okay, since this is free of cost, I'll not get zone redundancy. Okay, but for the other ones I'll be able to get it. And again, continuous deployment, which is CI/CD pipeline. Okay, if there is any code which is being pushed on the GitHub, directly it will be pushed onto the web app. Okay, you can query it. Okay, but for my plan, I will not have it. Let me change the plan and show you all the features. Okay, I'll show you B1 series. Okay, apply, and here I don't think, yeah, here it is available. See, so enable, you need to choose your GitHub account, you need to choose the organization, repository, and branch. Okay, so all these if you choose, you will be able to use this, and once there is any changes which are made on your website, automatically that will query it and that will be taken onto the GitHub. Okay, so that is with respect to the GitHub actions. The next one is the networking. Okay, so if you want to have a particular network injection, that means if you want it to be isolated to a particular VNet, you can click this option to enable it as on. Okay, and you can choose your VNet, and based on that it will be done. And monitoring is what is the amount of requests which is coming through, what are things which are happening, and anything which like application insights, if there is high utilization or low utilization, here you will be able to know that. Okay, and tags and review and create. So basically you are creating a web app, okay, using .NET Python. Using Python you are creating a code. Your code is basically Python, and you are creating this particular app service. Okay, so this is going to have a ACU stands for I think it is app compute units. Okay, I think that is the thing. And wait, I'll check, I'm not sure, 1 minute. ACU sorry, Azure Compute Unit. Okay, so depending on the ACU, okay, your performance will be higher the ACU, higher the performance. Okay, so invalid template. Okay, this is not creating because I do not have a proper template. Okay, if I had a proper template, then it would have created, but nevertheless it's okay. I mean, this is how you will create a app service. You will create a web app, you will get a endpoint. This is going to be an endpoint, and when you query it here, akash1231.azurewebsites.net, once you query it here, your website will be up and running. If you have a valid code, you will be able to do that. Okay, so that is the concept of app service plan. Okay, and based on this you can create your websites, and maintenance and everything will be taken care by Azure. Okay, there is nothing which you need to take care, everything is going to be taken care by Azure. Only thing is the code is your responsibility. So basically it's a pass offering, wherein it is platform as a service, and only thing you need to take care is your code. Okay, so subscription over quota for SKU. I'll do one thing, I will go ahead and change this to free of cost. Okay, maybe then I think it should be deployed. Okay, let me try that. So once this is done, then your website will be up and running. If you have a valid code, I do not have a valid code, so this will not run. Okay. So this region has zero quota for instances for your subscription. Okay. I will change my region. Okay. I'll just change my region. I'll go to Australia East. Let me try here. Click on create. Even if you have multiple app services program, okay, it is deploying right now. There was no quota for me in that region because it's a free tier account. So even if I have multiple app services, I can put it behind an application gateway. Guys, remember application gateway? App gateway. Felix, Karthik, Dilip.
Remember.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is done. Okay, the deployment is complete. So currently I have one apps. Okay, and that app is going to be a website. Okay, so this is a Linux web app. So I just click on this plan. Okay, then click on this app service. I will have a endpoint. Using that endpoint, I'll be able to create my deployments. Okay, using that deployment, I can use this and I can um, run my website. Okay, so this is about web apps. Okay, this is pretty much about web app. Here I will have a endpoint. This is my URL. Okay, currently I do not have anything here, so it will show me a error page. If I had something, then it would have shown something else. But yeah, so this is my web application. Okay, and I have backups here as well. I can create backups of these. And see, automatic backup is currently set for every 1 hour. The backup is going to be taken. Okay, so if you want to scale up, you can just scale based on the workload. If you are having a higher workload, then you can do that. And if you want to scale out, that means increasing the number of instances. Currently I have one instance. I can go up to 3 instances for this particular account. Okay, and current plan is I have a Linux plan. Okay, so it is in this particular region. And this is the plan name, ASP RG1 ACC3. Okay, and you have alerts, you have metrics, all these things depending on what you want. Like for example, CPU of your app service, or probably let's say TCP connection, what is the timelines and everything. All these things you will be able to see here. Okay, so that is with respect to the metrics. Okay, so any doubts with this topic?
Akash, while creating web app, normal web app.
Sorry.
While creating normal web app,
Uh-huh.
there are three options: no code, Docker, and static code.
Correct, correct.
What is the Docker unit?
Docker is basically a container. Okay,
Okay.
so Docker is, let's say, um, you have website, you have a server, right? You have a server, Windows server or Linux server in your normal runtime. When you're using Docker, you'll not have a server, you'll have a container. So your container will be part of a server. It's not a full server. It is just a container for which you'll be able to execute only one particular script. For example, containerization concept is that way. Okay. So earlier you had, now we have servers. You have like VMs, Windows, Linux, and all of those, wherein you get all unwanted applications. You have Notepad, you have all of these which are not required for you. So in Docker or in containerization concept, okay, what happens is they will give you a space wherein you can run only whatever is required for you. For example, if you want to run only Python you can run. Okay, that is the concept of containerization, and Docker is one of the containerization mechanism using which you can deploy your scripts. Okay, so using that you will be able to only run whatever is required for you. Okay, the other things are going to be The other things are going to be ruled out there. Okay, only whatever is required, whatever is essential for you, you'll be able to run in your container.
Okay.
Understood?
Yeah, I understood. Then the three options must vary in the cost of it also.
Cost, yes, yes, yes. The cost is going to vary accordingly. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Dilip.
How we need to deploy that code, sir? How we need to deploy code, sir? Code.
Yeah, yeah, I'll show you. So you have GitHub, right? Using GitHub, you can just query the code and automatically it will come here. Okay, that is one way of doing it. If you want to see, you have like these options: continuous deployment or manual deployment. So if you're choosing GitHub, if you're authorizing your code, okay, let's say you have a code, you authorize your GitHub account, you choose that code and you save, the deployment will happen. Okay, and if you want to, let's say you have a local Git, that is basically your installed Git on a particular system, then if you want to do that, then you can go ahead and use the other one is basically the Bitbucket is something similar to GitHub. Okay, and one more is Azure repository. So if you have a repository in this particular account, you can use that and you can create the code. Okay, and one more thing is external Git, where it is not on a GitHub or a Bitbucket, where you can manually do it. Okay, you can just fetch that particular repository and put it here. Okay, so these are the ways in which you can deploy your scripts. Okay, you can use GitHub, Bitbucket, local Git, or Azure repositories. Clear?
And then if I have one doubt, Akash.
Yeah, 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 please.
In that GitHub, if you are using that local Git, if for example, if I am having one computer service center,
Okay.
for that I need to create one website.
Okay.
For that, what option I should have select?
You want to create a website, right?
Yeah, I want to create a website for my own service center.
So create a GitHub account, put your script there, and then query that script in the GitHub.
Okay, okay. In that local Git,
No, no, you can use GitHub directly.
GitHub directly. Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, directly you can use GitHub. GitHub is free of cost, so you can just create a script, put it there. Okay, then you can authorize it, and it will fetch from the GitHub.
Okay, okay,
So GitHub is a central repository; it can be accessed from anywhere.
okay, okay.
I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah, yeah, please.
In this, we can't give a direct script, sir.
I don't think so. I doubt we can do that. Direct scripts, you cannot just do that, I guess. No, you cannot.
Okay, sir.
No. Any other questions?
No, Akash, that's all.
Okay. Fine. The next topic, what we are going to discuss is basically one thing which we left out while doing VNet. Okay, so that is basically two concepts. Okay, one is site to site and point to site. Okay, site to site and point to site connection. Okay, so these things are something which we use. Okay, in order to connect from your on-premises network. Okay, to cloud. Okay, so if you want to have a connectivity from your on-prem, okay, to Azure cloud, okay, you can use site to site and point to site connectivity. Okay, so this is my cloud network. Okay, and this is my on-premises network. So if I want to connect these two, okay, via a private tunnel, okay, I can use a private tunnel in order to connect these two. That is called either site to site or point to site. There is a difference between these two, okay. Um, First I'll show you point to site, okay, and then I will show you site to site, okay. So point to site is basically, if you see here, this is my Azure cloud, this is my on-premises network. So what is going to happen is, in point to site, it is like connecting to a VPN, okay. You're going to use a VPN, virtual private network, okay, and you are going to connect from your on-premises, okay, from your on-premises to your cloud, okay. You're going to configure that particular certificate and you're going to connect from here to here. That is called point to site. What happens here? You need to go here, you need to click on the VPN connection, you need to connect to it, and then you will be connected. So that is something like a switch, you on or off it. It's just from one point to your Azure network. So if I am the client, I have a fixed IP address 192.168.0.11. Okay, only I will be able to connect to this. Okay, that is point, a single point to a site, which is this Azure cloud. Okay, so that is why it is called point to site. And when you talk about site to site, it is from one cloud to one full on premises. So whoever is there in that network will be able to connect. So that is the major difference between a point to site and site to site. Now you guys tell me, what is the requirement for having a P2S and S2S? The concept, did you understand?
Akash, can you come back once again, please?
So when you talk about P2S, point to site, it is one user connecting to a site via a VPN. You know how to connect to your VPN, right? So you click on VPN, it will get turned on and you will be able to connect to that particular network. Okay, via a private tunnel. This is the tunnel. This is the point to site VPN tunnel. And when you are using site to site, if you're connected via site to site, the whole site, this is one site and this is one site. These two will be connected with each other, okay? And it will be connected all the time. It's not like whoever is part, it is like whoever is part of this network will always have private connection to this network, okay? So that is the concept of site to site. One site is always connected to the other site via private IP, okay? So now, why do we need this? Why do we need a point to site and why do we need a site to site connection? What is the requirement?
For security purpose, for data saving.
What security purpose?
uh, to reduce the data theft. For example, if that VPN single client point to point site is there, no single website, single IP
Yeah,
with the single IP.
yeah.
That is the main server. I am storing the data there.
Uh-huh.
If I am using point to site, that will be a very secure place. No one
Okay.
will be getting access,
Okay.
so that it maybe the security is very high. No,
Okay. So
from
basically
my
it is
from my
like,
point of view.
yeah, it is correct. Okay. Whatever you said is correct. So earlier, whatever we are using right now, we are using a private connection. Okay. We are using a private, sorry, we are using a public IP. Okay. Which is a security threat, because anyone who has the IP, who has the username and password will be able to connect to that server. That is something which is not required for us. Okay. So what we are going to do is, we are going to eliminate the threat. We are going to connect via private IP. So if we have the VPN or if we are part of that network, only from that we will be able to privately connect to the network. Okay. In that way, we are restricting the public access. We are just going to have the private access. Okay. So that is, you are going to eliminate the risk of having exposing your public IP to the world. Okay. You're not going to expose that. You're just going to expose the private IP to people who are part of your network. Okay. So that is the concept of having P2S and S2S, point to site, site to site. And you get the difference? Can you guys tell me the difference, Dilip or Karthik? Point to site, site to site. What is the major difference? Dilip?
Basically, server virtual through VPN point to site. Client system can access that server through VPN, that point to site, both site can communicate with some specific IP.
Correct. Okay. Point to site is from one person, one single user to a site. That means if I'm sitting here, if I want to access my cloud on Azure, if I want to access one server on Azure, I can connect to the VPN. I'll be able to access that. Site to site is basically I'm drawing connections both the ways, site to site. He will also be able to access. I will also be able to access. If I am in my office network, I will be able to access. If he is on cloud from that server, we will be able to access. So that is site to site. Okay. So that is the major difference between these two. And these two are used to connect your on-premises network to cloud via uh, a tunnel. Okay, we are going to use endpoints. Okay, so you have something called endpoint using which you will be able to connect to the uh, these two networks. Okay, it is not something physical. Your on premises will have a router. Okay, and in Azure it is going to be a virtual private network. Okay, we are going to use a VPN. Using that you will be able to connect. So that is the concept of point to site and site to site. Okay, and the next thing what we are going to discuss is one more, which is going to be a entirely physical connection. Okay, this is something which is very important theoretically. Okay, you need to know this. This is called express route gateway. Okay, express route. So basically what this will do is, this is like having a physical wire drawn to your on premises to Azure. It's a physical connection. There is a wire which is literally drawn from your company to Azure. That is called express route gateway. Okay, that is basically, it is you're drawing a physical express route connectivity. Okay, so this is called express route circuit. You're going to create a physical connection. Okay, you're going to give your resource group the region where you want to deploy. Okay, the name and the configuration. Okay, once you're drawing that, if it is like a provider, that means for every place there is going to be a provider. Okay, for example in India it is going to be Airtel who is going to provide. You remember the Geo deal which is made with Microsoft, right? So Geo and Airtel are the providers which are going to provide express route connectivity in India. Okay, so if we are using that, we will get all these people: Airtel, ARR Net, Aryaka Nets, okay, ATT, BSNL, and you have Geo. I think it will be somewhere here. Geo. Yeah, Geo. All these are going to be your providers. You have Vodafone, Idea, Zayo, and all these things. Okay, these are quite Tata Communications. All these things are going to provide your connectivity. So basically what is going to happen is, this is your office, which is your on-prem. We are going to call this on-prem. This is your provider. Okay, and this is your Azure DC data center, Azure data center. Okay, so what is going to happen here is, there is going to be already there is going to be a connection between these two. Okay, these two, since they are providers, they will already be connected via a physical connection. It is a physical wire which is drawn across to all parts of the world using your provider. Okay, what your provider will do is, once you raise a connection request here, they will come down to your office. They are going to draw a physical wire from your office to the provider's office. That is basically, you see all these signal towers, right? To all those things it will be connected. Okay, so basically they are going to connect your office to the provider. Since they are already connected, so what will basically happen is, your office will be connected directly to your Azure data center. Okay, whichever VNet you are part of, it will be connected directly. So that is called um, Azure Express Route Circuit. Okay. The other option is to eliminate the provider. You will just directly connect from office to the Azure data center. So that is called direct, and this is called provider. Okay. So these are the two options that is available for you. and you have different SKUs. You have local, standard, and premium. In premium, you have metered and unlimited. Here also you have premium, metered and unlimited. Here it is in local, it is just unlimited. Okay, so choose your provider, choose your region where they are part of, and what is the bandwidth you require. Okay, it is 1 Gbps speed, 5 Gbps, 10 Gbps, depending on what bandwidth it is required. You can just go ahead and do that. Okay, and once you are connected to that, you have unlimited and you have metered, wherein you have a particular quota. Okay, so all inbound data transfers is free of charge. Unlimited provides outbound transfer for single fixed monthly fee. You have a monthly fee that is going to be one particular fee, and that is going to be unlimited. You can use how much ever you want. And when you're using metered, it is like you have a particular cap and you pay for that cap only. Okay, so that is the concept of express route connectivity. And once you give a request for this, it will take 30 days. Okay, it will take 30 days for them to process your express route connectivity, and you will be able, that will be configured. Okay, so that is the concept of express route gateway in Azure. Okay, so using this, you will draw a physical connection from your region to the Azure cloud. Okay, so that is the concept of express route connectivity. Okay, so Geo, let's try. Okay, Geo has more connectivity. Okay, it has Chennai, Jamnagar, and Mumbai. Okay, whichever is nearest to you, you can just connect to that, and there'll be a physical connection drawn to that. Okay, so let's say I want to see something in Bangalore. Sure. So this is all other countries.
Akash, whether is that possible for a direct connection always?
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a bit expensive, but if you want that much security, then you will have to opt for express route.
Because if you are laying that much length cabling and all, it should be done. No, if there is any physical damage in between, that should be
See, it is
uh,
going to be a very secure channel. Okay, it is. It's not like normal Wi-Fi routers or like that. It's going to be a very secure channel which is going to be drawn, and between the provider and Azure data center, it is actually underground. The connection is underground and it is very under a very secure channel.
for that
So
only
it's
I'm
not.
asking it. Yeah, because since, for example, in Chennai, they are digging the roads, all the tunnels and all. Always the EV lines are cutting down, the water pipes are cutting down, like that and all. Very physical risks are there. No, so that I am asking.
No, the redundancy will be more. It's not like one single wire. It is going to have redundancy. If one is off, the other one will be stepping in. So it's not like one single wire. There'll be a lot of redundancy and alternate switches and stuff. So it is a secure channel. Nothing to worry
Okay,
about that.
okay, okay.
Because it is expensive also. They make sure
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
take good care of it.
Okay.
So usually big companies opt for this express route connectivity so that it is all physical, right? No one can hack it and no one can do anything. So they just use this particular model and they make sure the data is transferred. And you have a lot of good speed. You are not going to use the public internet anymore. You are going to use a physical channel,
Okay.
right? So you have 10
Okay.
Gbps of speed. So accordingly, they'll plan and they are going to the data transfer will be quicker from your on-premises to cloud.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you guys went through the syllabus, is it?
No, Akash, I didn't went through
Okay.
uh, for comparing. I have to do from tomorrow only for past 15 to 20 days. Now only I'm recovering from my health issue.
Okay. Okay. So I think I have a few more classes remaining. You just go through. If there is any concept which I haven't covered, you just let me know. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
Okay, I'll stop here for today. Okay. I'll continue tomorrow.
Actually, from Chennai, in present technology Velacheri branch, they have given some other syllabus. It seems. I think. For me, that
Who is
is
the point of contact? Is it Muthu Manikam?
no. Actually, Muthu Manikam, I was directed by him to join this batch. Actually,
Okay,
I
can you
don't.
send me that syllabus? If there is any topic in that which I need to cover, I'll cover that. Not a problem.
I will check and tell you. I will check and send you.
Okay, you send it on the chat so that everyone can see.
Actually, from Mr. Krishna only, he has taken care of my admission and all.
Admission. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Mr.
You
Krishna
send me.
and
That's not a problem. You send me. If
yeah,
there is
yeah.
anything which is left over, I can do it. Okay.
I'm not sure, but I will send you. No problem.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Akash. Bye, Akash.